Hi everyone, it's Kate here again, and today I wanted to do a video about the 10 classics that I'm the most interested in reading soon. So I don't know when I'll get to all of them, but I'm interested in reading all of them, and so I'll just get right to it. So a more modern classic. This is Miss Funcles' book by D.E. Stevenson. This is about a woman in a small town who writes under a pseudonym about basically everyone in the town. And after the book comes out and everyone is reading it, they're all wondering who wrote it. And so it sounds really interesting. And I've heard one booktube review about it and they really liked it. So I'd be definitely interested in reading more of this. Then Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. This is one I saw the BBC miniseries a few years ago, and it's basically there's a dust heap business that needs to be inherited by a son after a father passes away, but they can't find the son. So then it's kind of takes off from there, and it sounds really interesting. And several of the characters, like Lizzie Hexam or Isabella, I think I would really grow to love more after reading it. So I definitely want to get to Our Mutual Friend. Then Of Human Bondage by W. Somerset Maugham. Everything I've read by Maugham I've absolutely loved. I find myself underlining so much. He's just such a beautiful, beautiful writer. So Of Human Bondage is kind of considered his masterpiece, that or The Razor's Edge. So I definitely want to get to this one. And I just love this Everyman's Library or Modern Library edition I have. I just love reading a good sturdy hardback. Then this is The Exile's Return by Elizabeth de Waal. I'm not sure how many people have heard of this one. It's a more modern classic. I first heard about it from Susan Hill's book, Howard's End is on the Landing. So any of you classic lovers, if you love books about books, that's a good one to read. And she talked about this, and it's basically about Vienna, Austria, post-World War II, directly after, and several people who move back to the town. She focuses on a Greek businessman, a French teenager, an Austrian prince coming back to like his town like that. Yeah, I think those are the main characters. So I'm interested in reading this one and I hope it's good. Then this is A River Runs Through It by Norman Maclean. This is a memoir written by a son who was raised by a pastor who was kind of stern and serious. But one of the main ways that he and his brother bonded with their dad was through fly fishing. And so I think this is going to be a pretty introspective novel, just lots of his observations about his dad and fly fishing and his relationship with his brother. And I really want to read this one. I love the movie with Brad Pitt, so this is what I'm interested in. Then The Pursuit of Love by Nancy Mitford. I've been, wanting to read this for years, and the sequel is Love in a Cold Climate, and then I think there's one more, Don't Tell Alfred, but this is just totally the type of thing I would love. I feel like if I like I Capture the Castle, this sounds like similar feel to it. So I want to read The Pursuit of Love by Nancy Mitford. Then next is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This would be a reread, but this next year is Charlotte Bronte's 200th birthday, and I know there's going to be lots of stuff out there about Jane Eyre, and I talked to my Friday Reads video about the short story collection inspired by Jane Eyre that I want to read, and so I talk all the time about how Jane Eyre is one of my favorite books, but I've only read it once, so I'd really like to read it again. And I got this for $5 at the library, and that's also made me want to read it more, having a pretty copy. Frankenstein. This is less than 200 pages. I could read this in a day. Everybody who's read it loves it. Enough said. And Lark Rise to Candleford by Flora Thompson. I'm obsessed with the BBC miniseries. I probably watch an episode once a week, and I've gone through it 2 or 3 times. So I know I will love this. I just do, because the show's based on it, so I don't know why I've put it off. Next is The Vicar of Wakefield by Oliver Goldsmith. This is, from what I've read, it sounds kind of like a Victorian comedy of errors. It's just a vicar and his wife and children and the crazy stuff that happens to their family. I think there are probably several proposals to daughters in it, but it sounds like it's full of hijinks and fun. So I want to read this one. So those are the 10 classics that I want to get to in the near future. If you guys like reading classics, let me know what you're interested in reading, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.